on Giovanni's side. Okay, so both players are ready. Let's start the first game here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Giovanni has started, LXT has started. So quite nice for these two players here. Pretty much the same start as what I love to see. Yeah, the easiest way to guarantee simul starts is if you just look at the countdown instead of listening to it. Oh, and we have someone in the background here on Giovanni's side. I have no idea who that is, but yeah, Giovanni actually not being alone. Not a real Tetris player, you're only a real Tetris player. Nah, just kidding. Don't wanna bash us too hard, and yeah. We have 69k for Giovanni, nice, against 48k here for LXT, which means we have a slight lead here for Giovanni of around about 3/4 of a Tetris, as LXT is now getting his own next Tetris. We of course have the lead here to LXT. Giovanni also in a bit of cleanup situation now, getting quite high. Longbar into column 9, perfect longbar to 9. And taking a few cleanups here now on the left side spins. Okay, next longbar does also go over. That looked quite dangerous to me. Like, I feel like you do these spins when you don't have many more options left to try. And Tetris to Giovanni, 109 for Giovanni against 144 for LXT. Next Tetris to LXT at 166. So yeah, nice opening here for LXT, able to get a small lead in as we are at 40 lines. And we can see it has been a bit of a suffer start here for Giovanni. Not that bad of a start so far. Of course, as he is only a bit behind where you generally want to be, about a Tetris behind of what I feel like is the pace you want to be at. But LXT has just been having an amazing start. He has 2 Tetrises ahead of Giovanni currently, as we have 2 or 3 now against 239. LXT had to burn a few lines here while Giovanni was able to get a Tetris, so we're now at about a 1.5 Tetris lead here to LXT. And yeah, Hannah also pointing out that this will be an interesting match. I'm pretty sure that it will be, considering that we have 2 high-level players here. Current rank number 10 and rank number 7. So Giovanni is ranked a bit higher. And has actually played a game less, or like a match less, which means in theory this is in favor of Giovanni. Let's see if the theory will also turn into reality here. As we currently have 266 for Giovanni against 337 for LXT. Giovanni open once again, waiting for the next bar and then hopefully also getting the next Tetris. While LXT is just clean here and being able to go for a few Tetrises. Yeah, so about an 80k lead here for LXT as we're getting close to the 100 lines mark, so we still have a bit over 40 lines left to go here for these players to play. And to me it looks like both players have been clean here for a bit, and we can just expect as many Tetrises here out of these players as the pieces do allow them, as in. Of course we are still requiring longbars, for example, to fall down in time. Yeah, this looks like Giovanni will have to catch up on level 19. So you have about the 70k, which is nearly a 3 Tetris lead here to LXT. Giovanni is playing quite high here, quite aggressive, getting the burns in so far. Or yeah, this is high for Giovanni. He needs something for his column 3. He didn't get the OP, so where he need to go, which means Giovanni tops out at 394. And with that, we have a 1-0 for LXT. It is 1-0 for Alex. And a slight rip here, as and I also just said. And bit of death issues here at the top of the stack for Giovanni, just before level 19. And we also had a nice pentac here happening on LXT's side. And yeah, so LXT has won this game. He's topping out now at the transition. 520k, nice transition score here for LXT. And next up is gonna be the seed 8-3. Giovanni is ready. We are just waiting for LXT to also be ready here. And once LXT is ready, we can start game number 2 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And pretty much a simul start here. So both players have started this game. We have the first Tetris going to LXT. Giovanni got his will closed just beforehand and is running a few lines here now as well. And finally getting the bar into 26, now 49 for Alex against 49 for Giovanni against 47 for Alex. And the 2k lead here means that there has been got 2 lines played for Giovanni more than Alex has. You will have just a few more burns here now happening at some points as we're waiting for the bar. Looks like we have a bit of a drought coming up now. Yeah, this looks like a drought here, which means the players are now playing a mix of aggression and survival. And we can see the Tetris happening now on Giovanni's side. Actually back to back, which means Tetris number 1 to LXT and Tetris number 2 to LXT now. Giovanni set up for the next Tetris. LXT now also set up for the next Tetris here. And we get now 144 for Giovanni against 164 for LXT. Next Tetris to Giovanni, next Tetris to Alex. So Alex is around about 1 Tetris ahead of Giovanni here, who is getting the next Tetris now. And we have potentially burns happening now on LXT side, depending on the pieces that he gets. And yeah, he doesn't get the S piece to where he wants it to go, which means he has a bit of a shadow stuff happening in his stack, and there's gonna be a bit of burning and a bit tougher about to play, as his center was quite high here. He got the burns required to get lower in the stack, which means this is now a cleanup situation here for LXT of due to the center actually quite a lot of lines before he is able to go for Tetris once again, which means Giovanni will be able to build up a nice lead here. As we can see, 239 against 199, so we have already a 2 Tetris lead here for Giovanni. LXT still has a few more lines left to burn, unless he's going for a center well, which it looks like he is now. Not gonna be the nicest to burn though, not getting the J piece for the over as well, not getting the long bar for his column 10 dependency, needs a long bar for column 1 as well, instead tries to burn using a red S piece. But yeah, this is now escalating quite a bit here for LXT. He's not getting the perfect pieces, he's getting a flat longer burn. L piece to the left, would have preferred a J piece, putting the lumber here in the center, and topping out at 203, which means we have 1-1. Giovanni was able to win game number 2. And yeah, with that, we are maybe on a speedrun to getting the beloved 3-2-3, not 3-2-3, 2-2-2, because as we know, 2-2-2 is the best that you can get in scoring, as in that's somewhat of a meme. Don't actually ask me why, please, I can simply tell you that it is a bit of a meme. And here we have the readies of these players. So let's start game number 3 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And exactly Moobot, we also have a so-called match Reno, which allows you to you know, support the players. Quite obvious of what it does. I don't know why it took me so long to explain. And Tetris to Giovanni, Tetris to LXT, both having 2 Tetrises now. LXT needing to burn at least a single here, and it's gonna be exactly a single before able to go for Tetrises once again. Getting the TPs, nice for LXT in a clean stack once again, not having any weird dependencies here. Well, Giovanni is now also getting a few burns in, and we can see the next Tetris here on LXT side. 91, 92 here for LXT, 114 against 93 for Giovanni. Giovanni having played a few runs less and potentially getting a spin tag. No, just tagging a S-piece in, which leaves a bit of a cleanup situation here on Giovanni's side. And he's not trying to put any extra weight on it, but he overshifted that blue S-piece here, which is also now a bit of a tougher position here for Giovanni to clean up. And he's also falling bad in points, as LXT is now already over 60k ahead, which is about a 2.5 Tetris lead here to our American player. But Giovanni is fighting and trying to get as low in this stack as possible, which I'd say so far is also working quite nicely here. While LXT is simply able to get ahead in points. He's not even playing that aggressive, as we can see next Tetris here to LXT. I mean, not that aggressive, and he's still at 255k at 50 lines. So this is what feels like a perfect game. It's not quite. He had to burn a few lines, and now he also has to burn a few lines. Well, he doesn't actually have to burn a few lines. He could also have tried to go for a 3 high left drill Tetris setup, which you don't want to, but yeah, this is just impressive so far by LXT. Nice spin here on Giovanni's side into 186 against 281, so at that point we had about 100k lead here for LXT. Small missteps here on LXT side, like for example that T-piece here. That's gonna require a bit of cleanup on LXT's side, but Giovanni also is currently Wits ready now. Okay, perfect. Was able to clean that up when I said he wanted to say that he's in trouble, but he said he doesn't get that S-piece over, topping out at 212. And we have 2-1 for LXT. LXT, you have won game number 2, meaning you can safely top out. A bit tougher game, this was, I'd say. So, let's see how game number 4 will go. Johnny is saying I have no desk control. I have no idea why. There could be so many factors that impact this. I sadly can't help you as well. I just hope that you will be able to get that under control again. And yeah, so let's start game number 4 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And Mr. Craig also in the chat saying lock in Alex, giving him a few keys. So he's trying to unlock LXT being locked in? Maybe, I'm not fully sure. And yeah, let's see who will be able to win game number 4. Will our Italian player be able to force the 2-2, or as we can see, Giovanni being already a bit high here, and so is LXT. Oh, it's a GD reference. Okay, then I just didn't understand the reference. I apologize for that. Ah, Giovanni, yeah, being quite high here in the burning. Once a bar optimally, getting the bar into a Tetris. Nice Tetris here to Giovanni. 55k for Giovanni against 32k here for LXT. Nice pentagon on Giovanni's side as well, having the long body dependency now in column 7. And the bar is not falling down here, as we can see. LXT is really high, not getting the DPS over. I was too locked in, but it's on Giovanni's side, which means I missed the top out, and it is now 2-2. LXT also saying, yo, WTF is this BS? I do feel you. This is what Tetris is like. It's always a mix of fun, and then you have games like this. But yeah. It is 2-2, so Giovanni can safely top out, as he has now won game number 4. And we are guaranteed to get the full best of 6, meaning that either player has to win 2 games in order to win the match. And let's see if that will be possible. Both players are ready. So let's start game number 5. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And let's see how this game will go. Hopefully these players will be able to play this game until the end. Yes, we can see both players getting the first 2 Tetrises, the first 3 Tetrises now. As you have 68 and 68k, so most likely not gonna see 69, nice. As we have now the next Tetris to both players, 91 against 91. So compared to the last game that looked not the best, this is now looking like 2 nice games for these players. Exactly what we love to see. Next set is for LXT into 159. As Giovanni now may have to burn a bit. Let's see what kind of pieces he is getting. Okay, he's now getting the OPs. And Tetris to Giovanni. Giovanni already had to burn 2 lines, which means, as we can see, LXT is now around about 1 Tetris set, as Giovanni just had to burn a few lines here, and LXT is still on 100% Tetris right here. Now LXT also has to burn, putting the blue SPCs here in the center, getting a bit high in the center. Now needing the next bar for Tetris, getting the bar to Tetris into 211 at 40 lines, which means once again quite an efficient opening here on LXT's side. Giovanni is a bit behind, still in a decent position. Like, Giovanni also had a nice start here. It's just that he's already about 40k behind LXT, so yeah, LXT is a fighting opponent. He is really showing us what he can do. And we get 2 Tetrises in, 195 to 39. Now 218 to 39 at pretty much the same lines, which means you have around about a 1 Tetris lead for our American player, being LXT. Oh. And we are now at about the halfway point, and it is neck and neck, 286, 287, nearly the same score, pretty much the same lines, now the same lines. Only a 2k lead here for LXT as we are waiting for the next bar. We have a bit of a drought situation here that these players are managing quite nicely so far. But we can see here on the left side that I feel like Giovanni is, due to playing higher, is having to potentially burn more lines here. But yeah, now he is now open. Oh, and LXT. Okay, LXT got open before the Tetris, perfect. But now Giovanni has the lead, 337 against 321. And next Tetris to Giovanni into now 361 against 321. Next bar and Tetris for LXT and for Giovanni. So yeah, Giovanni is slowly but surely building up the lead now. I say, and LXT gets next Tetris, and so does Giovanni. Yeah, it's... I mean, it's not even a Tetris lead, so... Maybe he's actually not building up the lead here, that's just looking like he is. But yeah, we're now in the last 30 lines of this game here. And Giovanni's getting quite high, getting the bar and Tetris to Giovanni. Both players looking at a 500k transition currently. So we have once again a good game here for these players. I say, and Giovanni just had to close the well here. Yeah, on LXT side we can see the long body points here in column 3, not quite a Tetris readiness, over shifting that Red SB is misdropping the TPs due to the death loss, which means Giovanni was able to win game number 5. And next up is match point for LXT. Also that we ping the next players, being at Tommy, at Rookout. One more game in this match, so be prepared to play soon. Oh, LXT, I'm gonna have to crash out. I mean, to be fair, both of you had a bit of desk control issues here today. So it's kind of something that does affect both of you. And yeah, Giovanni now getting the 19 transition at nearly 600k. Again, Giovanni, it is 3-2. So you have won this game. And we're now in the last game between Giovanni and LXT. So let's see who of these players will be able to win the final game. Oh, stunning. LXT only saying that let's get a double 19 game. Not even, you know, double 29, just double 19. So let's see if we can finally get a double 19. Feels like it would be the first time. Giovanni asking if it's C7. I'm pretty sure it's C7, C7. Yep, C7. As LXT also just confirmed in chat. So let's start game number 6 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. There's one small thing that I find funny. That, you know, bad players, like myself, oftentimes there's like no difference between their partner and TFC and the amount of points they can get. Just something I noticed. And LXT saying, hopefully I can keep my cool. I hope so as well. My general recommendation is just turn off the commentary if it's me in the commentary, because that makes concentrating much easier. But I'm not even shit-talking that much nowadays, but a few years ago I did that quite a lot, you could say. But you know, that's the fun. The kind of difficult part of the restreams here is that you need to find a good mix between entertainment and information for the players. You don't want to have one being too much of the focus. And here we have 92 for Giovanni, 91 for LXT. Giovanni has to burn a single here, while LXT is still open, and now Giovanni has played a Tetris more than LXT. Next Tetris to LXT, some small hole cleanup here on Giovanni's side once again, getting a nice T-spin, while LXT got the next Tetris, 117 against 1 36, so we have around about a 1 Tetris lead here for LXT in points and pace now. But of course we are only in the first 30 lines of level 18, so there's still a lot to come here for these players to play. Around about 200 lines in theory. In reality it's hopefully gonna be at least 100 lines. But yeah, as a desk player you have this, like these days where you just don't have any desk control no matter what you do sometimes, and it's always unfortunate. So let's hope that in the last game these players will finally be able to show us what they can actually do and get a double max out. Because let's be honest, that's what these players are capable of. Giovanni already quite high here, getting a small OP piece, nice flat longbar burn. Still not open, kinda high, putting a bit more weight on the cleanup now. Needs some of the right side, getting the S piece over. Needs the T piece, getting the T piece where it needs to be. Right side is now quite hard to access, not getting the S piece over. Which means Giovanni topping out and not being that happy with his performance, and we have a 3-2-3 and then a really unfortunate last game here for Giovanni. And I hope that Giovanni's controller survived that. Luckily these NES controllers are quite sturdy. So congratulations to LXT. LXT saying this is so horrible. Yeah, I feel like it was more the specific set. Like we've seen many matches played, and there's, you know, the matches that are quite nice to play, there's the matches that are horrible to play, and it's just a mix of both here. Oh, and I closed the tab for the Dash Champions League tab once again. Why do I do that this often? It, you know, should pretty much never happen, and today it has happened twice to me already. But on the positive side, that means that our next players, at least in theory, have more time to get ready, while I'm having issues copy-pasting something. Yeah, this is Giovanni, Alex, G323. And if we now look at our bracket, we can see Giovanni still in number 7.